Okay. All in, all in. Hey, are you all in? Is he all in? Is she all in? Is Kyle all in? Is Shaggy that's gonna fight that kangaroo all in? Is the people that tell me to burn things with arson and commit arson all in? Is that kangaroo all in? Is that fish all in? Are we all in? We're all in London, England, Wembley, the UK, back again 2 years in a row. And I know we are late in doing this review, but one important thing to address first before we actually do begin this review, we do need to acknowledge and send condolences to the unfortunate passing of Sid Vicious or Sid Justice, who passed away today at the age of 63. His son basically informed everybody online he had been battling cancer, for the past few years now. So I was actually pretty surprised to hear about that. Today, multi-time world champion within WCW and WWF. So I didn't grow up watching Sid like that, but I do remember more of his WCW run.
Yeah, I remember more of his WCW run. That's when I came in too, right? But I do want to send my condolences out there too to Sid Vicious. I do remember more of his WCW run than his WWF run. But that's when we had came in, as wrestling fans.
Oh yeah, especially the thing with Goldberg. Goldberg! Oh my car! Go for 42! Goldberg! Why? You can't touch me, Goldberg. And I've seen enough of Sid even in ECW. I mean, the last time around he was ever in WWE, I think was it 2012 when they would bring all them legends back to beat up Heath Slater. I think that was the last time he was ever on WWE television.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, did he end up getting heat that release power bomb?
Yeah, that power bomb. Yeah, he hit that.
That was a beautiful power bomb, by the way, too. The release power bomb. You have to perfectly make a person land the right way with that power bomb. That and the Razor Edge are one of the most devastating looking power bombs to me. Even though people probably will put the last ride as the the lift up power bomb, but I think the release and the Razor Edge, the crucifix power bomb. I really think those two power bombs are the most devastating looking move power bombs out of all of them.
Yeah, it was not definitely. It was one of the most devastating power bombs. Like, yeah, between that and the last ride, definitely it was a real powerful, like definitely a big power bomb. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Man, I don't know. I seriously don't know, right? I ain't gonna even lie to you. I
Wonder that.
really don't know. Oh boy, dang! That's something we probably have to look up. But yeah, I don't know. He should be. I mean, he really is. He should be in the Hall of
He
Fame.
should
Real
be. He
talk.
should be. Because I wonder, like, is he in the Hall of Fame? Because, like, if I remember, I've seen clips. Like, didn't he like beat Hogan for like the WWE title?
Yeah, he beat Hogan for the title. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
And
I think
you
he beat
know,
Shawn Michaels also.
right? So you beating those two guys, man, it's not no easy task. Especially Hogan. You are one of the many that put Hogan down.
There's not a lot of people. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that just beat Hogan, especially for the title.
Right.
Yeah,
So
'cause,
man,
yeah,
that's
like
gonna put you in Hall of Fame status right there.
yeah, because no, yeah, you definitely the top of that, especially at that time period. Like, yeah, you beat Hogan. Yeah, you kind of made man low key.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, definitely what made man. You beat Hogan and whatnot. So yeah, that's true. But nah, definitely rest in peace to Psycho Sid though. Very sad to hear about today.
Yeah.
Now, like before we get to All In, I gotta say this. Like, did you see any of this pre-show?
No, I didn't see any other pre-show. But you did tell me one of my favorites came back to Jamie Hayter. So I really was happy to hear about that. So, but I didn't hear. I mean, I didn't watch any of the pre-show though.
Yeah, honestly, no, you didn't miss You didn't miss much, honestly. And then again, when I turned to watch it, I think it started like 10 o'clock, like 10 a.m. I don't know when it happened. I didn't really turn to the pre-show till maybe about 11:30 that morning just to see what was happening. And I didn't know it was like 4 matches on there. So when I saw it, I'm like, what did I really see? Like it was like a 16-man tag team match, I think. Because like just we gotta get everybody on the card, and I'll just go through this real fast because there's nothing to talk about. But you got Leo Rush, Top Flight, Action Andretti, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Kip Sabian, and the Dynamite Kid Tom Billington versus Private Party, the Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, Jay Lethal, Satsum Singh, Arya Davari, and Anthony Ogogo, who is from England, and Leo Rush in them one. So I didn't watch it. I don't know how long it went, nor do I really care. But once again, this is another let's get everybody on the card type of thing.
I
And
want
I'm
to say this though, Bryce.
uh,
How can you book a match like that? Can you imagine being a booker and have to not even. I know the bookers don't set out the move sets. I know that's the producer job and everything. They try to set out move sets and try to make sure these guys get some of their stuff in. But how can you book a match like that? You get what I'm saying? Like that's quite hard. With 16 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. And it's just throwing random people together too. So I don't know what happened, but that just seems very tedious. And I kind of saw that a little bit later in the pre-show when to the match I actually did see. So I'll kind of get to that in a second. But no, it just like once again get everybody on the card and just seems very convoluted. Because the next pre-show match was Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. And I think I said this before, but yeah, Stokely was dressed like Michael Jackson from the Remember the Time video.
Yeah, you were telling me
And yeah,
that.
I'm surprised he didn't start breaking out in the dance. I know he was carried out by like several people, almost like kind of how Nia Jax was carried out almost a few weeks ago on SmackDown, except it wasn't a chair. But no, that's basically what they said. Like he did like Michael Jackson Remember the Time, so he didn't start breaking out and dance. And I think the music they had playing was almost like, okay, we're not gonna really play Remember the Time, but we're gonna play you this garage band version of it.
He said the garage band version of. Man, I thought Tony liked to pay for money. I
Oh,
mean,
he
I
was
like
paying
to.
for that licensed music. Maybe Mike cost too much. Like that's Mike we
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
That
it's Mike
is
we
true.
talking about.
Man, right. Yeah, that probably cost a little pretty penny right there.
And Michael Jackson, you paying for some big name money to do that. Because I
Right,
don't
and
think
not
they
for
really about to
no
have Remember the Time start playing.
right, not for no throwaway stuff like that. Like, for a manager to come out to the ring, like, nah, I wouldn't pay for that. I
On
wouldn't
a
do that at
pre-show.
all.
On
Right.
a
And
pre-show.
right, oh, the pre-show? Yeah, no, nah, never.
Da, da, da. You remember the time? Yeah, they're not gonna start playing that. So no, they wouldn't have done that. And it was Willow and Ishii won. So it's like I said, it's not much to say from that. They won the match. And when I turned, I think they had like Mark the Heart out there talking. And I remember she kind of got booed because she said she was, coming from what beautiful Canada and called like the UK to, their neighbors with the US, which the fans booed. And like they had her out there and Tony was standing right next to her. Like, I don't know what it was. She was just kind of like wishing luck to the people that won the Owen Hart Cup tournament thing. So it just happened. So not much I can really say from that. And I think they
I
like announced.
understand what they could probably, try to tie that in because both of the Owen Hart winners are going for the respective title that night. So I can say you could tie that in.
True, that's true. And I think also they announced like Forbidden Door coming to England next year since, All In will be in Texas. It won't be in England next year, so they're giving them Forbidden Door. The next pre-show match I saw was Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. He was dressed as Wolverine, but yeah, it was Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Shibata. and the Von Erichs with Kevin Von Erich out there with him, which, by the way, Dustin Rhodes is a double champion, the Ring of Honor tag team and six-man tag team champion. And they went against the Gates of Agony. Once again, Brian Cage is dressed as Wolverine and the Kingdom. And I'll be honest, I saw some of this match. It was pretty botchy. There was one point where I guess they were going for like a triple power bomb where like the Gates of Agony throw Shibata into Cage and he's supposed to catch him and then power bomb him, but they just damn near dropped him on his head, which looked really bad, by the way. It didn't look good. And Dustin and them won. Like Sammy did like a swan time on like Matt Taven. Once again, it's a spot fest. I got nothing to say. It's a spot fest. That's it. And then I think Kevin Von Erich did the Iron Claw on somebody, and it's nothing much I can say from this. Hey, it's cool to see Kevin Von Erich out there.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah.
yeah, that's cool to see him. But it's a spot fest. It's nothing much I can say about it. And people dress like Wolverine out there. So I guess because of the Deadpool Wolverine movie, but it's a spot fest.
Question right quick before we move on. I want to talk about the Von Erichs right quick.
Go ahead.
Now, you know, see this how I could see it. If the Von Erichs was in the WWE when the Iron Claw was coming out, do you think they would have been more over now if they was in NXT, and just especially when the Iron Claw was out? You get what I'm saying? Like coming out and was hot and everybody was going to see it. Would they
Yeah.
have been more over, a little bit more over than NXT than on AEW television?
I would probably think so, because like if you know the history of the Von Erichs and everything, and especially how big they were in Texas, they were basically gods in Texas and whatnot. I think if WWE promoted the movie, which they kind of somewhat did, I know them and AEW were promoting it. I know AEW did it more, but I feel like if WWE did it and just had like Kevin Von Erich on there, especially those guys like Ross and Marshall Von Erich were in NXT, I think it'd be a possibility. Like WWE would probably know how to promote it better, I'm sure, and whatnot, especially with the movie and just the Von Erichs themselves. Okay, because it's not like they haven't done it before. Because I know they put the Von Erichs when they put them in the Hall of Fame, like 2009 and whatnot. But given they had that movie about their life and everything, it would have been a possibility. Nah, yeah, WWE probably could have if they really wanted to. But I think that was, like I said, that was more of an AEW thing. Like, come on, they did have them on there and had Kevin Von Erich on the show too. So if they were on WWE, it probably would have got big. Well, even on the main roster, not just NXT, like main roster, especially there in Texas. In Texas, you talking about a super popped in. Like I've seen it before. So yeah, when it comes to the Von Erichs in Texas, they're like gods over there.
All right, yeah. Well, I was just, a little question, little thinking, like, see if you would have saw that, like, looked at it as how I looked at it, like, they would have been more over under the WWE branch than being with the AEW.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie?
Nah. I know it's on Max, but I never really saw it. Is
I
it? Did you see it?
I watched it. I did watch it. I watched it a while
Okay.
ago now, but it was good. But like, there are a little bit of some historical differences, and I didn't think it was a bad movie, but there were parts that I feel like shouldn't have been cut out. Like, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing now, but it's like I probably have to send you something that will kind of give you. I would say watch this video first because it is out online. I think it was a Dark Side of the Ring episode of it. But look at that, and then like look at the movie. You'll kind of see the differences in both. But I didn't think it was a bad movie though. I did think it was a little bit of some people should have been cast as other characters though, but it it was good. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I will say this, you'll probably see the worst ever Ric Flair impression you'll ever see in that movie.
Oh, I heard about it. I heard like jokes about it. So like people were like joking around, like it's more of a Ric Flair movie than. in a Von Erich movie. I was like, wow, I heard about people joking around with that, but I don't know how true it was.
Yeah, that part was bad. I think Zac Efron did good in the movie. I think he probably should have been playing somebody else. Now that I think about it, given how jacked up he was in the movie. But like when I seen this thing, you have to watch this thing first, then watch the movie just to kind of give you a bit of historical context, unless you already know about it.
Right. No,
So
no. Yeah, I gotta. I'm glad. I'm glad that you said that you send me a text. I mean, so I
that
can see the
video.
video. Yeah, I want to see the videos and see how they broke it down.
Yeah, because it's pretty dark. I will say that, especially if you knew how big the Von Erichs really were. Like literally that big, and just especially in Texas, just it's a pretty fucked up tragedy. I'll say that. Like you'll when I send it to you, you'll see what I'm talking about. But moving to the last part is pre-show, we had Saraya come out with Harley Cameron and basically her entire family with like 15 people out there, which I don't even know who half these people were other than her. I'm sure her brother and her mom and other people. And, Harley Cameron's talking, fans saying, shut the fuck up. Soraya's, how dare you? This is my country. I'm the Queen of England. I was on the main card last year. Now I'm barely even on the pre show and whatnot. I should get what I deserve. And that's when Jamie Hayter came out, got a big pop, and basically beat up half of Paige's family to try to get to her before Paige got out of Dodge. Because Jamie Hayter's not been around since Double or Nothing of last year. And I think that was
Yeah,
due to shoulder surgery.
yeah. I'm glad that she back. You
I
know,
just wish it wasn't on the pre-show.
me too. And like I was telling you earlier when we were talking earlier, and I was like, man, if we were going to do it on a pre-show, I would have just waited until Dynamite this Wednesday, to debut her. But they had to do it on a pre-show. I think they wanted to do it in front of the big Wembley crowd. So I understood what they wanted to do, but like sometimes I hate criticizing them sometimes because it make me sound like I'm poking at them or I'm trying to just find anything to criticize them about. But it's not that, right? That was poor. You get what I'm saying? That was really poor. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't think of nothing else but to debut her on a pre-show. Man, like a lot of people watching it. Like to be perfectly honest, I don't think a lot of people were watching the pre-show. I think people were mainly going for the main show, especially how long AEW pay-per-views are.
Oh, yeah. So he's super old. Like, those pay-per-views go super long. So I'm just surprised it was on the pre-show, though. So I'm glad to see Jamie Hayter back. I'm just like, why was this on the pre-show? So that really confused me when that happened. And before the pre-show went off the air, they did have the entrances for the first match of the night, which was a fatal four-way six-man tag title, 12
My goodness.
people. I
Well,
have no idea really how to name this.
but hey, but what we could say a 12-man tag match, like not a 12-man because that's gonna be 606. I'll be like, I don't know how to describe it, but we went from an 18-man and they said, hey, just minus six, and we're gonna throw out 12 people out there now. Like, come on, man, y'all
Yeah,
don't see this is too much.
yeah, that was like it was. That's a lot because it's very convoluted. And given this ladder match, so you got the Christian Coalition out there. Christian Kill Switch, Nick Wayne, and Nick Wayne's mom going against the House of Black, Bullet Club Gold, which Juice Robinson looks more and more like Macho Man Randy Savage, which he was going for, and the wild card team of Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, which I was wondering what trophy Claudio was walking out there with. I guess he won some tournament in CMLL, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah, I heard
uh,
about that. I heard about that.
yeah, I didn't know, but I guess he won some tournament over there, so that's why he had it. But listen, this was a wild, obviously, crazy ladder spot fest match, which I'm not gonna try to name every crazy thing throughout all this, but I remember like everybody beating up Christian at one point, and then Nick Wayne's mom trying to climb the ladder, and until like the gun club stopped them, and you got tables involved and stuff. Which there was a lot of cool looking stuff out there, like what Nick Wayne doing a suicide dive into a Canadian destroyer on Aleister Black through a table. I'm not gonna lie, that looked pretty cool, but just you got what the swing and then like the kick and then Pac doing a black arrow, which was pretty cool. I know there was some like tables involved, but then I think what they got the tables in, and I think it was Claudio and someone else, Yuta climbing up, and the Gun Club like jump on the back of them, and then they all go through the tables, then like backwards in the ring. And then, you had Nick Wayne's mom once again getting involved, trying to use like that hairspray stuff. And Juice looked like he was gonna put her through a table, but I guess Kill Switch stopped it, and he put him through the table, which the table did not break, by the way. So I am the table. It didn't break, and I guess when you see Christian Cage trying to get up to the ladder, and Kill Switch is helping him then, but Pac ended up getting through the other side, knocking Christian off the ladder, and he climbed up, and now Pac and by the way, no Death Triangle, by the way, so we don't know if the Lucha Brothers are still going to be in this company. But yeah, Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club are now the 6-man tag team champions. So we got Pac on the card at the last minute, folks. We got him on the card at the last minute.
which I would say like it was a bittersweet type of thing. Like I'm glad that he got on the card, but it wasn't his fault that the two hottest guys on the in the company right now fighting for the championship that he the number one contender of. So he has to take a back seat because of that, because he would not fit in. And I don't see how he gonna fit in going into all out. You know what I'm saying? It's like how I'm looking at it, like it needed a third match. MJF and Will Ospreay. But I think they're gonna try to call themselves breaking it up. They gonna have to go through this. They're gonna have to go to the third and final match. They have to. It has to be a rubber match. They won one. They won a piece. So I will see. I will have to say they have to go to a third match to break that tie. And but Pac just don't fit into that situation, and I feel bad for that because he don't fit in.
Yeah, and he has to wait till All Out to get his title shot, I believe.
Yeah. Even then, it just feels like a throwaway match. You know what I'm saying? Because what they gonna do? They can't just say. I mean, they not gonna take the title off of Widow. So it's like, so what you gonna do? It's just a throwaway match.
Yeah, especially going All Out. And I guess now it's like, well, we'll give him the 6-man tag title, so we got to give him something. And that he wasn't even on the card till the last second. So, okay, this is what we're going to give you right here. So, like I said, the whole ladder match was, a bunch of stunts and all that and stuff. But, the crazy thing is I didn't really expect, like, the wild card team to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it either. I would not have expected the wild card team to win, but I guess they wanted to throw a little surprise out there. Something that nobody would have saw. So they wanted to just put the titles on Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club. What that make Pac? Is he a part of the Blackpool Combat Club now?
Honorary member or something, because I don't know where the Death Triangle still exists. Like I said, with the rumors of the Lucha Brothers probably on their way out allegedly, we don't know all the way.
Right, that's true.
So yeah, I guess so. He's in it, or he's an honorary member. So we'll see where that goes. Next, which I was surprised to see, this was the second match out of the entire show, which was probably one of the best matches on this show, was Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship. I definitely enjoyed this match. Like this was great stuff. This was great. Like I said, I'm just surprised this was the second match of the show, because you got Mariah May's mom out there watching, and Mina Shirakawa, I guess, up in the stands. This was just great. This is probably one of the most built matches going into this pay-per-view. Just from the whole heel turn from Mariah May and the shoe and all that, and Toni Storm just becoming more and more unhinged. This was a great match. This was great. The crowd was into it. There was even one point because I think was it hell they even had Mariah May go up there and slap her own mama to the ground, like literally just walked up to her and slapped her, in the face.
And see, this is what I've been waiting for. The people that see what I was seeing for a very long time. And I was always watching little clips of Mariah. You know what I'm saying? Just little clips of her before she even went to AEW. And I was seeing how hard hitted she was. Like she was just smacking niggas. I was like, man, these girls, man, don't they feel it in the morning when they wrestle with Mariah May? You would not expect her to be as hard hitting as she is. She is very hard hitting, bro.
No, and it was kind of it because I know Mariah May was bleeding at one point. I think she got hit into the steps and whatnot. But no, they were going at out there, just back and forth and whatnot. And I know she had tried to get the title involved in the match. But what Luther there ended up taking the title away and just got a middle finger. And then after that, they're going back and forth brawling, kind of countering with finishers and stuff. But then the shoe had got involved. I know they did like a damn double headbutt and whatnot. And Mariah May had the shoe, and Toni Storm like put her foot on the shoe, stopping her, stopping her hand, and grabbed the shoe from her. And Mariah May's just pleading with her not to do it. And Toni Storm looked like she was gonna do it, but no, she didn't hit her with the shoe. She set up with a Storm Zero, but Mariah May tried to hook her into a pin. And then hit like some knee strikes and did her own Storm Zero, and now is the new AEW Women's Champion. Which basically right after Mariah May won. I guess, Tony, who just kind of got up, which the fans just kind of gave a standing ovation and whatnot, just walking out after. But yeah, Mariah May, the new women's champion, one of the best matches on the show. I thought this was great.
Man, hey folks, I didn't get to see this great match, and I knew it was going to be a great match because it's two of my favorites right now that I like seeing in the ring. I love. I've been in love with Tony Storm since the Mae Young Classic, so I know that I love to watch her matches. And then, like I was telling you before, I was watching clips. They were showing Mariah May on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It's like I would watch it on clips, and I was like, man, this girl is good, man. I would think that she probably would get picked up out of by WWE, but she ended up getting picked up by AEW. And then what really surprised me with AEW is they actually would build a woman star. It wasn't handed to them from another company. It was for the ground up in a good storyline. Y'all got a good heel in Mariah May. She's a great heel. She's crazy. She cut a good promo. I really think that she's one of the top heels of the company in the women's division. But let's see what AEW does. They don't really have the best reputation of continuing to build new stars after they already stars.
I get what you mean. But nah, this is one of those rare entities where they have kind of built someone up really well. So especially with the story and Tony Storm's whole gimmick and everything now. So it does freshen some things up with Mariah May now being the new AEW Women's champion. So I thought it was no, I thought it was really good and told a great story out there. Like I said, it's obviously one of the best built feuds they've had on this show leading into this pay-per-view. So I definitely thought it was good, and you are staticking a little.
I'm so sorry. I'm good now.
Yeah, it's like every time he was talking, it was almost like then like an and like I hear you clearly, but it was like every time he like talk, it was like and something like that.
Oh, okay then. I'm so sorry. Yeah, am I good right now?
Yeah, you good. I don't hear it now because it was like every time he talked, it was like like it would come in every time like you would say words.
Oh, okay. My bad on that.
It's cool, but no, definitely a great match though. Overall, like I definitely liked it. Now the next match, the FTW Championship was on the line. Chris Jericho versus Hook. Chris Jericho, who came out with his band Fozzy, actually had lyrics now to this theme song. I am the learning tree. So he was actually singing it. So and he did his hi guys, bye guys, hi guys, hi bye guys, hi Shaggy, bye Shaggy, hi Kyle, bye Kyle, hi dog, bye dog, hi kangaroo, bye kangaroo, hi guys, thanks guys, thanks guys, thanks Shaggy, thanks Kyle. I'm sorry, I get a kick out of that, but he just does the whole high thing all the time. But he came out doing that entrance, and Hook, who had like an eye patch over, like taped up, which was kind of like Taz's entrance back in WWE when it would start off with the beat, when like did 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 that whole thing, not before it actually gets to the song, before it goes as regular, but it was kind of like Taz's old entrance. Basically, this whole match was a 3-on-1 match. Okay, this is supposed to prove basically how Hook is basically Superman in this FTW rules match, because Taz was on commentary out here. And listen, this was just a match with a lot of weapons involved, from kendo sticks to a pool cue to cricket balls to an actual cricket itself, and tables, and Jericho just like throwing like the weapons at him and stuff. Like it's not much I can really say from all of this, but what, even Hook even taking off the eye patch and everything, I guess kind of hulking up and all that. But even what, they had a table and then they put barbed wire on the table. And I remember like Jericho took the pool cue and he was gonna hit Hook with it, but he hit Big Bill and knocked him onto the table with the barbed wire. And then Brian Keefe, he's got like the belt and everything, I guess he got from Martha Hart, and hits Hook with it. And Taz finally just had enough with all the mess that was going on. Even though he created these FTW rules, he says, I've had enough. And he got a big pop and did the Taz mission onto Brian Keefe, as Hook ended up getting the red rum on the Chris Jericho and tapped him out and won the FTW title. Honestly, the highlight of this whole match was Taz getting up, getting a big pop, and just doing the Taz mission, because I'm sure everybody just got like the Taz mission. He's got the Taz mission, folks. So Taz just got out of the seat just to do his submission hold and whatnot. So that was literally the biggest thing out of this whole match, was Taz getting up out of his seat. So yeah, Hook's got the FTW title again for the third time, I think. And yeah, that's all I can really say about all this. This was just some hardcore match. That's all it really was.
Oh yeah, I did my best. I did my best JR expression when I saw the transmission. Transmission. I was man. Yeah, you was right. That got the big pop out of everybody. You were, I was in this room when I saw it. Transmission. I was man. That's man. Taz was my boy back in the day. But man, like man, when I saw that, I did pop. But other than that, yeah, Bryce, you are totally right. You are totally right. That was the biggest thing that happened in this match, because the match it was really bad. To be perfectly honest, like it wasn't really that good. Like I was just looking like, man, the 3-on-1 situation that looked as stupid. Like man, you telling me that he has beaten a veteran, uh, 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 one of his boys, and another one of his boys that was 7 feet tall. And like, come on now, like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, this don't look believable. And you telling me that all he got he got help from his retired father to get the win. Like it was just bad. It really wasn't bad. I mean, it really wasn't good. It's not helping Hook at all. This whole feud wasn't helping Hook at all. And I bet money that Chris Jericho pitched it to Tony Khan that it was going to help Hook, but it didn't. It didn't help Hook, and not Hook. It's at ground zero once again. Like I really want to see him become more than an FCW champion. Like real talk, I really want to see him with one of those continental belts or international belts, whatever you know. Man, I want to see him in one TNT title belt. Like get like for real. That's be for real. Like this FCW belt is not helping him. I know he want to try to probably do right by his father, but I just it's just not helping him, Bryce. It's just really not.
No, this title honestly doesn't really mean a lot. I don't really think it does. Then again, I don't know how much they even count this championship, and the fact that he's had it 3 times now in a row. I don't know much I can really say about this belt all the time. It's like, why does he still have this? Why does he still have this title belt for it? I don't really understand that. I don't get it. So I don't know what else you can really do with Hook from this belt. They got to move him to something else.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely agree that he needs to be moved to something else. What is that something else? It's like I just don't see. Then what you want to know what else I'm over here like kind of baffled about? Like so so is this the end of the feud? Where did he go after this? Who he go to after this? And are we going to continue to see Chris Jericho? If we are, this is just not good. I don't know. Remember those days back in the day that he used to take years off, like year or two off, and you would not see this man for a while, and he come out of nowhere. Like what happened to those days? I need those days back, man. Like what? Look, go ahead and take another year off. You don't even have to take another year. 6 months would be good, Chris. Like for real. This
They
is
must
not.
think his ideas are that great.
It's not good. They're not. They're not good for
No, this
real.
whole feud hasn't really been good in general. Just with them even beating up Samoa Joe and then Shibata, and now it's like this whole feud with Hook, and you could say the learning tree stuff. Like I said, I get a kick out of the high guys thing, but still, this whole wherever Jericho's new idea is, I don't even know where this is going half the time. So I'm almost surprised this is a match on All In. I really kind of somewhat surprised by that.
Yeah, it was. You could have swamped this out with something else for real, like because this was really wasn't good. But but Chris
But hey,
Jericho,
yeah, Jericho, I don't know sometimes. So well, hopefully they don't have to continue this and they move on to something else. So we'll see
yeah,
where that goes. But going on from that, the AEW tag titles are on the line in a triple threat tag match, and this is another rough one to get through. Well, first we got the Bucks coming out as the Beatles,
yeah,
FTR. Yeah, FTR, who basically dressed like the Hart Foundation, damn near, with their gear, and the Acclaim rapping, which those bars were not good, and you could barely hear them because of the speaker system being too loud, and the bars was pretty weak anyways, so they weren't even the rhymes was weak. Honestly, this whole tag match was low key a damn spot fest. And then again, you had the damn the Rick Knox referee. That's what makes it even worse because there was just times throughout this match that the referee just basically lets anything happen. I even said that Billy Gunn comes in and hits a famouser on somebody under with the title, and the referee can clearly see him doing it and didn't do anything. Literally looked at him and did it, and they have to act like he did it. Like this was just it was a spot fest. It's not much I could really say from this match. Like going into it, just from so many double DQ finishes or time limit draws in recent weeks, with title matches or whatnot going into all of this, and just the whole match was like if you see one Young Bucks match, you've seen them all. So this much I can't really say from this. I'm almost surprised the Young Bucks even won this match. I don't even know why. I was just surprised they actually won. But yeah, maybe the fans kind of got along with some big spots. But no, this match just was not it. FTR is not over like they once were. I would say kind of maybe because of Dax complaining on the internet left and right and going back at people. And the Acclaim, they low key ain't been hot in a minute for a while either. The whole Elite takeover, which they somewhat botched that is literally whatever too. So it's almost like it is what it is for this tag title match, and it was just whatever. It was a spot fest basically, and the only thing I could take note after the match was what the grizzled young veterans hopped the ring. Then I haven't really seen these guys around since TNA, or I think even Collision that one time several months ago, and then they beat up FTR and look at the Bucks and say they're gonna go for the tag titles now. So the whole match was literally all over the place. So the biggest thing I can really remember out of all this was the grizzled young veterans, coming in after.
Oh well, it, I just remember I was telling you earlier where when I was like, oh well, I wasn't expecting to see a Young Bucks match with the other two teams are not really high flyers and they really were around base. I didn't understand how how it built into a typical Young Bucks match. I just didn't see how it turned into that, but it just it was an okay match. It was like I'm I'm really surprised, not surprised to see how badly FTR fell off. I'm very surprised. That was like it kind of baffled me, but it at the same time it don't because like you said, Dak's been running his mouth. But it's just crazy. I remember just like a year and a half ago, really how over they was having good matches and match of the year candidates and stuff like that. It was like not to go from that to this. It kind of like wow, how that happened?
Yeah,
The claim, one more thing with the claim though, Bryce is something else. They went from super hot to super cold in a matter of months. How did that happen? Like I just don't understand, bro. Like they was one of the hot tag teams they had, but now nobody really cares.
yeah, yeah, they've really fallen off the Acclaim. I don't know what happened, but yeah, they're not as over as they once were. Remember though, Max Caster is the best wrestler alive, apparently.
He didn't show me nothing than what I watched yesterday. What like come on now, bro. Like I ain't really seen nothing that was wow and me saying, oh, whew, man, Castle, he on par with Daniel Bryan. Like, no, he not. Like, nah.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
sorry.
yeah, I don't know where he is right now. Saying that he's really trying to get that over the best wrestler. What did you? I think you said this, or maybe Shaggy said this, but like you're not even the best wrestler in your own group.
Yeah, Chucky said that. Yeah, he not. He not. But Boy is a better wrestler than him. Like I'm sorry, he is, man. Like I really like Boys and better than Castle. Really do. I hate to try to do that to a tag team, but always like he is better than him. But he is, and as a personality too.
True,
Like
because Cash's bars gotten weak as hell for a while now.
outside of his rapping, he really not good at anything else. Like unless at least Bowen can get you fired up. And he could cut some good promos. You heard me. So like, nah, you ain't even the best. You ain't in the best group, sir. So cut it out.
Yeah, even like come on, Billy obviously is better than him too for obvious reasons. So
Yeah,
it's fucking badass Billy Gunn. And like you said, as for FTR, they have just kind of really fallen off nowadays. They just not over. They ain't really as over as they once were. And like I said, Dax, him and the internet, man, whoever he's gonna go against, I don't know. You can't talk bad about AEW because he'll go in super defense mode then.
yeah, that's what really got everybody off the Dak Hardwood bandwagon because you just can't do stuff like that. Like I understand you want to go and throw up the company flag and wave the company flag and everything, but sometimes you just gotta let people talk. If they talking, man, just let them talk. You ain't gotta go all after people because they got some type of criticism about what the company is about. Like, let them talk and do your thing, man. And see, now you got to the point that nobody even wanna look at an FTR match.
Yeah, because it's I feel like it has somewhat kind of gotten to that now. So it's like I like Cash. You don't really say nothing, but yeah, I just feel like FTR in general, they just not as over as they once were. And I'll just say this about the Grizzly Young Vets: this can go somewhere. I think you said is if they actually do it right and push them well enough to go for the title. So we'll see what happens. But I just overall I just wasn't really digging this match.
Either. I wasn't either. You
So
wasn't on.
it is what it is for that. Now, next was the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royale, which I just forget the rules of this sometime because it's damn near like a Royal Rumble somewhere, I guess, up a Battle Royale, but it is a gauntlet match. Even though I already found it odd that why was Cassidy just the win number one, but I guess you want to get the win early before you get to the end. So I don't know all the way, but the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royale, the first two people that started off was Orange Cassidy and Okada. I will say this, even though Okada is damn near starting to become like a joke, or the Bart Simpson meme, is a lot of people saying now, say the line, Bart, because all he says is bitch at this point. That's literally his own catchphrase is bitch. I admit he was still over with this crowd, but even after to say Okada has kind of fallen off, especially if they're going to keep having him do the same line every week. But throughout this match, though, the third person in this battle royale was Nigel McGuinness, who got a really big pop, which I was actually surprised to see come out. Given Nigel McGuinness has been on commentary for a pretty long time now, not with just AEW, but NXT. I don't remember when he actually retired from the ring, but I haven't really seen him wrestle since he was like Desmond Wolfe in TNA. It probably been a little bit after too, but I don't know the exact year he'd been retired from the ring. So it was really pretty big to see him back in there. Don't get me wrong, I do know a little bit of history. I know about the matches with him and Bryan Danielson from Ring of Honor and whatnot. So it was a pretty big deal to see him get back in the ring again. So that's something I was pretty shocked to see that of him getting in there. But fourth person in there was Kyle O'Reilly. He was in next. Fifth person, Zack Sabre Jr., New Japan Pro Wrestling, the G1 Climax winner, won it a few weeks ago. So he will face for the IWGP World Title in October, not at Wrestle Kingdom in January, but hey, he'll be facing Naito in October. So definitely looking forward to that. So cool to see Zack Sabre Jr. In the ring, even him and McGuinness have a square off out there, given both of these guys are from England. Even Okada and Zack Sabre Jr. If you see enough New Japan matches with them. Six was Roderick Strong. Seven was Mark Briscoe, got a pretty big pop. One thing I will say about this whole battle royale, this was the ROH New Japan battle royale, if you ask me, because it was a lot of ROH / New Japan alumnus in there. Because eight person was Hangman Page. Then he did get a cowboy shit chant out there, and he's just doing what he can to try to get a title shot in general and just taking out everybody as much as he can. Because nine was Jeff Jarrett, so a little bit of TNA in there too, and him and Page are going at it then, and I think he like power bombed Jarrett to the outside of the ring. Then he even ended up grabbing Karen, but then the 10th man in there was the AEW debut of Ricochet, who got a very big pop out there. We knew Ricochet was signed to the company a few days ago, so he will fit just right in with AEW. So everybody saying Ricochet is all elite. He got the pyro and stuff. He's going at Hangman out there, even doing a big dive to everybody. So listen, Ricochet will just fit right in with AEW. Like, we got like already 30 flippy guys over here as it is anyway. And then again, we know he can't really talk, but we got a lot of those over in AEW too. So he will fit in just fine. Ricochet will be okay here. Some say he should have been here a long time ago. 11 was Christian Cage, back from his match from earlier in the night, selling the injuries and whatnot. Ricochet ended up taking him out first, but then once he got back in, he did get buckshot lariat. And when he was pinned, Okada just kind of walked over and started kicking Page's head. So they start going at it then. And then Jeff Jarrett hits a guitar over go over Hangman after he tried to grab his wife Karen, and it was like a rainmaker on Jared, and everybody's just hitting finishers at this point. Zack Sabre Jr. is hitting his finisher, and then Cassidy's coming in, then McGinnis hits his finisher, then Briscoe with the froggy bow, and then the 12th person was Kill Switch, but ended up being Luchasaurus, I guess, again, and I guess he was going to tease to beat up Christian, finally turn on him, which probably would have been the place to do it, but he ended up choke slamming Kyle O'Reilly and put Christian on top of him, so now Christian will get a world title shot, so Christian winning this whole thing felt really weird. I will say that. It was something you didn't really expect and just kind of confused the crowd. I'm like, oh, Christian won. That's very surprising. I did not think he was going to win. I did like the gauntlet in general, though. Like, I did like it a lot. I guess for the returns and debuts and, and you don't know who was going to show up. And just like I said, it was literally the damn ROH NJPW Battle Royale because everybody you could see from there was like from a ROH alumnus. Hangman, Mark Briscoe, Roddy, Kyle O'Reilly, Zack Sabre Jr., Okada, McGinnis, yeah, all these people. But I thought I enjoyed this battle royale though. The Christian thing was kind of weird, but I liked it overall in general. I liked it a lot.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I definitely agree with you when you were saying that he definitely is going to fit in into this into AEW. Man, they gonna at least show Bryce. Real talk. This is not gonna be the WWE Ricochet. This is gonna be Prince Puma for real. I'm definitely gonna. I'm definitely calling it now. I'm thinking we're gonna see the Ricochet that we were seeing, and on the indie scene before he got to the WWE. They're gonna really let him go wild. Like, look, you can wrestle however you want to wrestle. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we're gonna see. But I'm really glad that he did though.
No,
Like you
I
said,
think he will do good. Like I said, I think now he'll definitely be Prince Puma here. So um, it'll work out well. And they want that match with Ospreay. They want that match.
oh yeah, it's most definitely gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
What do you think about Christian winning?
Christian, like you said, it was weird, but it's like he was the only credible person that was in that match. We already knew at the end of the night that Bryan Danielson was going to end up winning the title, so they needed a heel to be for that. And so I'm not really. I'm not saying that it ain't gonna the feud is not gonna be good because it's gonna have some good promos. Two veterans in the game. I just it just seems like one of those little throwaways they did with Swerve. Like Christian gonna be your next challenger. It's like Christian is always the gatekeeper or something as the as the heel, the first heel to go against. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's like I'm iffy about it.
Yeah, so it was kind of strange when he won because it just wasn't something I was kind of expecting. So it was just kind of out of really nowhere, in my opinion. I thought one of the, somebody else was going to win. Some people really thought Ricochet was probably going to win, but then you would have probably heard the whole, oh, look at that, a former WWE guy just coming in getting a title shot.
Yeah, and, I'm glad they did do that. They took a page out of the TNA book. They did just throw the title on Dolph Ziggler when he first got there. So I'm glad they did do the same thing to Ricochet when he first got there. Not throw the title, but just gave him a title shot. You let him build. You know what I'm saying? People been wanting to see this for a long time because they felt like WWE was kind of taming him a little bit when it came down to the stuff that he can do. He got to do raw stuff. Don't get me wrong. He got to do cold stuff, but it wasn't to the to the heights what he was doing before he got there. But at the same time, like I said, let him build, let him come in and cut a promo. God damn, he not the best at it, but let him cut one. You know, He ain't the best at it though, but let him introduce himself to the AEW crowd. Even though the AEW crowd knows him, but let him introduce himself. Instead of throwing him into a title picture.
Yeah, you just don't want to straight do it, but like you said, build up. What do you think about McGinnis finally make his in-ring return?
Oh well, to be honest with you, Bryce, I never got to see McGinnis. I heard of him. I heard that he was, one of the ROH greats and stuff like that. So I know his ability and stuff. So it wasn't like when he came out, it wasn't like I didn't feel the same excitement as the other people because I definitely did because I got to know him over the years now. You know what I'm saying? But so it was one of those situations where I felt good about seeing somebody come back and having wrestled in a while, over a decade. And I really guess I really like what I was seeing out there. It wasn't like he was the most beautiful day, but you gotta know. And like I was telling somebody on Facebook, that's like me that's like me not playing. That's like me not playing. No, not even me. Let's say a professional NBA player just not playing for 10 years and then call himself coming back. You don't think he gonna do? He ain't gonna. He not gonna have the best games ever. He not gonna have one of those good best games ever. So it's like people need to calm down with that. Like, oh my God, did you see him box? How you going to?
Yeah, we ain't seen him in the ring for God knows how long, so I'm sure he's kind of rusty. Give him time.
Right, but yeah, it felt good to see him out there.
No, it was cool to see McGinnis out there. So it was pretty cool to see him. I'm sure people now gonna be thinking it's probably gonna be him versus Danielson now pretty soon, given he's medically cleared. So we'll see what happens with that. But the next match though was for the American Championship slash International Championship. Will Ospreay versus MJF. Will Ospreay basically went full Assassin's Creed mode out here as they are trying to promote the new Assassin's Creed Shadows video game, which gets more controversy than people actually talking about the game itself. I'm not going to go into that whole thing because that'll take a long time to explain, but I'll just say this. It has to do with black samurais and what if there were black samurais in feudal Japan. But then again, apparently now everybody believes that Assassin's Creed is historically accurate now. So remember, folks, the Assassins helped the American Revolution and George Washington beat the British back then, okay? Or Leonardo da Vinci did help, he did help assassins make their gear back then and stuff. Or the assassins had something to do with the murder of Julius Caesar too in Rome. So remember, Assassin's Creed is historically accurate.
Yeah, people need to stop smoking crack.
But yeah, everybody's mad about black samurais now or historical accuracy. So yeah, I've seen more controversy with this game than people actually wanting to play the game. But yeah, he went out full Assassin's Creed mode and even had Ezio from the Assassin's Creed series narrate his intro and all that and have all these people doing all these flips and stuff. So it was a cool intro and pyro and all that. And MJF coming out to the all the American flags and cheerleaders and all this stuff, just full on America mode. Which I will say this about this match: one, I'm honestly surprised this was not the co-main event of this show. I really am. I thought this would have been the co-main event. Two, the one thing in my head I wondered about this match: how are you really gonna follow up the 1 hour thing you did on Dynamite several weeks ago now? Because it's like, what can you really show me different than what you showed me for a whole hour on free television? Because that's what I wonder. How do you even follow that match? And this was a really good match, not taken away from it, okay? This was a very good match. I know we spoke about this earlier, but you thought it was more aggressive out there. I did like this match. I did think later on it did start to drag, especially once all the ref bumps started happening. Because first we kill a cameraman out there with Ospreay, and then the referee ends up going down, and then it's like title belt hits and nut shots and stuff until like MJF end up like pulling out a weapon out of his tights, and then next thing you know, a masked person shows up and stops him, and it ends up being Daniel Garcia which MJF tried to swing out of, but Garcia dropped off the apron. Remember, MJF took out Garcia back in Chicago a month ago now, and beat the hell out of him. People actually thought he was done and going to WWE. They thought his contract was up, but no, he is still with AEW. And one thing I will say I thought was funny about this match too. I did like what MJF had said. Anybody can do a flip, you piece of shit. That was great. But once MJF was distracted by Garcia, Ospreay hit him with the hidden blade, and then he finally did the Tiger Driver 91. Now it's probably the biggest story throughout this whole match. Will Ospreay do the Tiger Driver, which looks very brutal, by the way. No matter how you look at that move, whether you're taking it or giving it, you have to be very careful with that move, because man, he landed pretty kind of hard, damn near on his neck. That is a very rough move.
Not to cut you off, we could go right back into it after I say this. But he did it look like he dropped him on his neck when he did that? I don't know if it looked like that to me, but he looked like he took that move pretty brutal. Like
he did.
Yeah, I really was scared for MJF after he took that move, bro.
No, that was a rough move. No, I was like, damn, like maybe there's a reason why they had to ban that move, because I've seen that Tiger Driver 91 he does, and like you got to be careful when you land, and especially that was just too close on the neck for me. I thought it was way too close on the neck. I really did.
Power driver. That's the new power driver. Remember back in the day, power driver was banned, and people were scared of power drivers. Everybody was scared of power drivers. Now there's a new power driver right here, the Tiger Driver 98. He don't want to take that move.
No, you got to be careful taking that. That Tiger Driver, man, that just looks brutal. But I do believe the match did kind of start to drag on a little once like all like the ref bumps and stuff happened and everything. Like I still thought this was a really good match. And, Ospreay, he got the title. He didn't want the American title though. Christopher Daniels got in the ring and gave him the international title back. So he finally got his title belt back, and I guess MJF will now feud with Garcia now after this. But like I said, it was still a really good match. It just started to drag on. People actually thought it was longer. This match was actually 25 minutes. So like some people believe it, like even Shaggy said, like it felt like it just dragged too long. It went too long.
And I did too, because towards the rep ups and all that stuff, it started to drag a little bit. So you wouldn't, I wouldn't blame anybody who would thought that, oh man, it was a 35 minute match. You'd be like, nah, take 5 minutes off of that. It was like 25.
25 minutes. So yeah, it didn't really go as long as you expected. It just probably felt long.
Yeah, it just felt long. But going to what you were saying though, Frank, because I'm with you on this. And that's the reason why I think this match wasn't one of my favorite matches of the night. You know what I'm saying? Because of that reason, it's like because of the reason that you said earlier. What can you do that you didn't do it a couple of weeks ago? Like you went deep into your repertoire and into your move set in that hour. So what you gonna do? Like what you gonna show me some new moves? Y'all did it. Really, to be perfectly honest, some of that stuff looked like y'all rehashed it. But I'm not gonna take that away from y'all, because y'all two of the best in that company right now, and I would respect that. And it ain't easy to try to come up with something new after doing an hour of a match. But at the same time, that's the reason why it wasn't my favorite, because it was like I seen this already. It with less aggression. Y'all a little bit more aggressive now. Y'all ready to take each other heads off because y'all kind of wrong each other over the weeks. So I understand, the match that they needed it. But that's the reason why I have to take it a couple of notches away from the main event, because I've seen it before.
Yeah, like we've seen it already. So now it's like, what can you show me really different than what you showed me for a whole hour? So like it's like what's really the difference here? So I'm not surprised Ospreay won though. So I figured he was gonna win anyways in this whole match and whatnot. So it just made me feel like, what can you do different? It was still a good match, just it just started to drag towards the end. So like I said, it was good, but it just went on. It just felt like it went on long.
And one more thing, can I say this about Daniel Garcia?
Yeah.
All right, so but yeah, Daniel Garcia. I would have wanted him to be more. I would wanted him to be physical with MJF yesterday. I don't know about you, bro, but you kind of messed me up me as Daniel Garcia. If I was Daniel Garcia, you left me a bloody mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Calling the title is all I want to do to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would want to inflict damage, get my payback or something. Costing you that title, it ain't go to me. So I don't even care. If I was gonna say, I wouldn't even care because it ain't like it going to me.
Good point.
Yeah, I throw you out the title, but like it ain't like I took the title off of you. So it's like it added a little touch to it. Um, Yesterday, I think it was one of those things where I was just telling you about the JB Hayter should have been saved on Dynamite. I think this should have been saved on Dynamite. Like Daniel Garcia returned and he comes back and jump MJF in the back say MJF gotta duck out of dodge, run away, because the nigga got a pipe in his hand or something. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like that's how I would book it. But that's what Daniel Garcia come out and not even call the finish of the match because he didn't really call the finish. They went on at least like at least another 5 minutes after that. So it was he had something to do with the finish of the match.
Yeah.
Y'all understand what I'm saying, right? It ain't like he had anything to do with that.
Yeah, he didn't really even touch him. He just kind of distracted him for a second, and then Ospreay just took him out then after that. So, like, he didn't play too much of a factor, but it's going to continue that feud now. So, that's where it looks like it's really going to go to. So, that's what I could see coming from it. But right after that was the TBS title on the line, which I will say this was probably one of the worst matches of the night. I'm really surprised this went on as late as it did. Um, Mercedes Monet versus Britt Baker for the TBS title, and man, this was rough to get through for multiple kind of reasons in this. And I know they had Mercedes come out with like a whole carriage and a bunch of royal guards and corgis and whatnot and stuff before making an entrance and everything, the CEO and the stripper dance and all that. But man, this match felt like it moved in slow motion half the time. It was a lot of clunky stuff. I felt it was a lot of Eddie Guerrero type spots throughout this whole match too. I'll say that. The biggest highlight of this whole match I felt was like when they went to the top rope and they did like that was like a scoop slam and like one reversed into the other in midair. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, it was like like one of those power slams, that they
Yeah,
Dustin Rhodes and Randy Orton would do if they was on the mat. But it was like in the air, it was like a reverse version of it. That was one of the coldest things I seen this
agreed.
year. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Like I can't
Noticeable.
even name a lot of cold things that I seen this year. That was one of them. And it's so crazy that it came in a bad match. But continue, my bad, bro.
No, you could. But no, I just had to make sure I remember what the name of that move was. But no, that was probably the coldest thing throughout the whole match, though. Everything else just wasn't that good. We know Baker has never really been that good in the ring to begin with. And you would think Mercedes would probably have to be the one to kind of carry this whole thing when you really think about it. But no, her shit was not really that good. Also, there's a reason why I've heard multiple times now people have said that Stephanie Becerra or Willow Nightingale carried Mercedes in the last few matches right now. And I know people are gonna look at this whole thing because I felt like the crowd was kind of dead for it. I think you had to follow Ospreay and MJF was already tough enough to follow. I don't think this feud has really been that good in general throughout multiple weeks. Like we've already seen it. And even at one point, even the whole Baker MJF fiasco that went on, that low key kind of overshadowed this feud in a way because we want to know what happened with MJF and Baker in the back. We already know Baker has enough problems I see with people in the back as it is already, and not to go in that whole story. And Mercedes has literally become insufferable at this point. So her whole listen, I know Sasha Banks fans, like big Sasha Banks fans that'll sit there and tell you that this run has not been good. Like I'd be like, you'd be surprised. Like I know big fans of hers, and they'll sit there and tell you this is not it. And then, like, throughout this match, what Mercedes gets the TBS title and is gonna hit Baker with it. And then the ref saw her and stopped her, but then Baker had the New Japan Strong Women's title, throws it to Camille, pulls an Eddie Guerrero in basically with the lie, cheat, and steal. And she gets ejected, and Baker goes for the Panama Sunrise then and a curb stomp, and then went for the lockjaw, but Mercedes bit her way out of it then after that. And it didn't like the finish was so weird. Like I think Mercedes did some knee move or something on her back, I guess. And then she did that money making finish, which is just a very bad finisher, by the way. She needs to go back to the bank statement. Like, no, she gotta go back to the bank statement and do something else
Yeah.
because this move does not really connect well on people. Like, we have seen it multiple times now, and it's becoming like I'm surprised that was a finish. I really surprised that was the whole finish. Like just one finisher, that was it. And like that was the finish, and the crowd barely reacted. The crowd barely popped to it. Like that's how bad it looked. I was like, oh, that's the end of the match. I'm like, oh, it's over. Oh, okay, it's over then. And like when I saw, and I'm not really surprised Mercedes won this match. Like the first thing in my head, the second she won this match was, it doesn't work for me, brother. That's the first thing I thought. When I'm like, Mercedes win this, I think we all know where it's gonna go. No, let me rephrase that. It doesn't work for me, sister. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't work for me, brother. Doesn't work for me. So that's the main thing. Creative control. We've already heard that and whatnot multiple times. So, once I saw that, I was like, yep, doesn't work for me, brother. It doesn't work for me. So that's the main thing I thought the minute Mercedes won this match. So I was like, creative control, everybody. But no, this was not good. This was not a good match. I thought it was basically underwhelming, and no, this was bad. Other than that power slam in midair, that was the only really good thing throughout this match. But the way this whole match ended was so flat, and I just felt like this match moved in slow motion half the time. Like it just wasn't really good. So no, it's probably one of the worst things on the show. Maybe the worst.
Well, if it wasn't for that FTW match, it would be the worst thing on this show. But it falls
Oh,
second. It fell second to it because I, I just don't understand this run. It's like it just make me sound bad that every time I was like, man, Mercedes is gonna be head. Well, I was saying this back before she got signed to AEW. I'm like, man, to be honest with you, I think she gonna be head and shoulders better than a lot of those women back there. Because I was going off what I was seeing off of WWE. She one of the four horsewomen. That's really a title to say that you are, one of the four best, women wrestlers that ever right now that's going on. Not ever, but right now in this current crop of women wrestlers, and I thought that really was like going to be a lot better than a lot of these girls right there. Man, it's just a whole mess. It's a whole mess, bro. Like real talk. Cause promos are bad, matches are not good. And it's like, my goodness. And then you sick Camille with her. Like Camille could have been something. if you would have had her not with Mercedes Monet right now. It's, and like you said about Britt Baker, she not one of the most polished ring wrestlers, women wrestlers out there. And you stick it with Mercedes Monet that not been doing good. It's not a good match, and it was a horrible match.
No, I agreed. I just don't think this was good. And it's like you said, ever since she has gotten to this company, which I've already said before, I thought it was already odd enough that we had to wait damn near 2-3 months just to even see her do anything. If you knew she wasn't ready, why did you bring her in? And I do think it is kind of funny to an extent. Like, you've had like what, 3-4 matches and you're already a double champion.
Right.
And which just really makes you wonder sometime. And like I brought up before, some people gonna sit there and argue, tell you like, hey, Stephanie Becerra and Willow said damn near out wrestled, especially Becerra. I heard that a lot. They said she out wrestled her.
Well, it's like now you see it like I kind of disagree because I saw that match, and I ain't see out wrestle anything. But here's the
No, it was
thing.
really good. That
But
one in Forbidden Door was really good.
here's the thing, though, Bryce. It don't make it look good on you when you with the next match that you have afterwards. It's not a good match. Now you will make a person think like, yeah, what's Stephanie over there carrying the match because this match wasn't good at all. And so it was like you kind of make people think of things like that when you not follow it up with good matches.
Oh yeah, because no, it's like we haven't really seen a lot of. Like I said, this one was just bad, but man, like the follow up from that, just I had to sit there like, what am I watching? But I just had to say that finish. I didn't know what that finish was. I was just like, that was the finish. That was really the finish.
Yeah, the finish was flat. I didn't understand that at all.
I didn't get that. So no, I just kind of like I said, I look at her run and I just look at Baker in general. Like no, this was not it. This was not really. This was not good at all. Okay, like. And I don't know if the crowd even really got into it later on in that, but I just felt like the crowd was kind of dead for this too at the same time. So no, this just wasn't a good match in general. I just thought it just wasn't good. So now, like I said, it was probably one of the worst things on this show. And I was just surprised how late it was in the show too for this match. I'm really surprised this went ahead of the actual AEW Women's Title, the actual main belt, which was a way better match by the way too.
Yeah.
So it really no, it makes you wonder. Like it really does. But no, this was bad. Like really bad. So yeah, doesn't work for me, brother. Doesn't work for me. But no, let's yeah, I don't know how to follow that one. But next the coffin match. TNT title, which I'm honestly surprised this was the co-main event of this show. Which honestly, this match didn't even go that long. And, I sat and watched this match. This felt like every other hardcore match I would probably see in AEW for like literally the bulk of this match. Cause like we got weapons involved and skateboards and diving onto the damn casket and glass, which I'm sure some people are gonna point this out, which I thought was hilarious. Like you got Jack Perry with the glass and everything, old Taco Bell himself, and you got people chanting "Cry Me a River" and "Real Glass" and "Fuck CM Punk," which the funny thing about the "Fuck CM Punk" chants is like, I'm sorry, who's on a bigger level nowadays?
Right.
So like y'all doing y'all best to try to get it because somebody said this before, and I think I had to agree with him. Like this felt like we trying to take a shot at CM Punk because we can't keep his name out of our mouths for some reason, given what happened last year at All In. So, let's do our best to somewhat kind of take shots that the crowd will know what it is. So I just think it's funny when I saw that. And it was a brawl. That's what this match was. It was a brawl. And then Jack just ended up taping up Darby's wrist together and he threw him off the oh, which let me point this out too. You got Darby out there looking like Hannibal Lecter with thumbtacks attached to his face using as a weapon, by the way. So that's crazy enough in its own right. But what, Darby got thrown off the damn stage then? I don't know how many feet that was, but he landed on tables to the ground, which was a pretty big fall. I'll say that too. It was a pretty long drop. But Darby's insane, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised by that. But no, like just the whole match, like, and then they put him in a body bag and they taped up his wrist, and like Jack Perry basically just dragged him in a body bag and threw him in the coffin, and it was over. And that was it. And then the Bucks come out and they got a can of gasoline, and then they pour the gas on the coffin, and then the lights go out, and then Sting, who probably got the biggest pop out of this whole match, which literally was the highlight out of this whole match, comes back out to the whole WCW Metallica Seek and Destroy music with the baseball bat and just starts beating up, the Elite. And what, Jack Perry just hit him with a chair in the back, and Sting no-sold it, and Jack ran off, and Sting basically beat up the Bucks and hit him with a double scorpion death drop and helped Darby, and that was it. That was it. So the biggest highlight out of this whole match was Sting. I don't have much to say about this.
Well, here's the thing: Sting was the most positive highlight. I would say that because the whole match was just a crash fest, like just crashes to things. It was just ridiculous. And like how many matches that we already seen a match just like this. We just didn't have to have the person be put in a coffin. But at the same time, we already seen a hardcore anything goes match earlier that night. And like I love Darby. It's like one of my favorite guys in AEW. I really like Darby, but they first he don't know how to treat himself because if anybody would have known that half of these things are not to be done, but he does them anyway. But that's him. That's the reason why we like the man. He does that for his sons. And then two, AEW really don't know how to book Darby Allin. They just don't. They just go out there and just crashes the thing. That's to get you over. Like a win over Jack Perry, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about Jack Perry. Why they want to pretend like people do. Like nobody cares. He's not a scapegoat. Nobody talks about the man anymore. Y'all have to be forced to talk about the man again because they have to show that tape. But other than that, if you didn't show that tape, nobody would have cared about Jack Perry. And I promise you that. And we're not going to even get to that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into the meaning of this whole scapegoat thing, too, because...
There we go. But here's the thing, Bryce. Here's the thing. He gonna be irrelevant super soon. They just keeping him relevant as long as he only gonna be relevant as long as they keep bringing up some type of moment from that, like the real glass yesterday. Oh, that was real glass. See, that's a moment for the tape, not for the tape, but what caused that tape. So as long as he can keep on bringing some type of reference to that day, that's the only time he gonna be relevant.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of really got this whole thing that's supposedly getting over was going by the scapegoat thing. Because when you really think about the scapegoat, a lot of people point out, the scapegoat is technically CM Punk because he was the one that was fired from this company and whatnot. So, like, who's the actual real scapegoat in all of this? And one thing that's been compared with Jack Perry right now that I've seen a lot is that people are starting to compare him to Raven because he keeps, holding his arms out all the time. And because he has like the hair and all that stuff too, so now I'm seeing people think he's like the new Raven now.
I wouldn't go that far. Raven was treated right in the WWE. He could have been something, not more. He's not the more than what he is, because he's still a legend, but it's like more of a legend if he would have been treated right. People don't understand how good Raven was. But to compare Jack Perry to Raven, that's an insult. That's an insult. He only had Raven a fraction of Raven's promo ability. He don't know how to get himself over. Other than mention, like I said, mentioning any part of that day. And that's the only time he know how to get himself over. He calling himself the same girl. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. Stop calling yourself that. It's just like he's so irrelevant. All he wants.
Oh damn. But yeah, the highlight of this match was Sting, like literally Sting. So I'm just surprised it was the co-main event. But let's move into the main event of this show now. Title versus career. Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. Jim Ross back on commentary, by the way, too, for the main event of this show. And man, this was one hell of a match. This was excellent. You got Danielson obviously coming out to the final countdown. It's the final countdown. And, you have his family out there, Brie Bella and, his kids. And you got Swerve and his entrance. You got Bun B and West Side Gun on the remix. And I like his Black Panther jacket, with the back of all the people he's beating on the back. It was a cold entrance. I ain't gonna lie. Seeing Bun B out there and West Side Gun, that was cold. But this was one hell of a match. And man, like this was just, it was great. It's like you can't really say much bad about this match. It was insane out there, okay? Um, I'm not going to try to call everything during this match, but I will say Swerve was beating the hell out of Danielson out there, because I will say Danielson does tend to bleed a lot in a lot of matches nowadays. I will say that, but like Swerve was just going in on him, taunting his family, just literally just throwing him all over the place, like mocking his moves several times here and there, even doing the whole stomp on the head thing, and just kind of like making his family watch. But you gotta see someone of his daughter kind of cowering away and whatnot. And like Danielson's just bleeding and just kind of looking on, doesn't really know what to do at one point. So he's just killing this man out there. I will say that, because like Danielson was still trying to fight back. But that cattle mutilation shit into a tiger suplex is pretty damn cold too. I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy.
Yes, it was.
Like that was definitely crazy there. That was that was insane. But you see his kids trying to cheer back on for him and whatnot. And then it was like one point, because he's like hitting house calls on Danielson. I don't know how many house calls he hit on him, but he was just hitting them with it. And then he did like the yes chants, doing like the yes kicks and stuff. But then you see Danielson like no selling it, and he was just like looking at his family, saying like, "I love you." Like he's still getting kicked, but he was like, "I love you, I love you, I love you," and then just slaps the hell out of freaking Swerve, then just starts beating the hell out of him. And then like he does like the big running knee and stuff. And I thought this was a crazy no sell. Like he just hits him with the running knee, and Swerve just no sells. And I was like, he just knocked the dirt off his shoulders then. Like that's it. Like that's it. Like he just does that and goes for like the big pressure finisher, but Danielson still kicks out then. And like, he was just kicking out all these big near falls and stuff. But then like throughout the match, Hangman, he tried to jump, the barricade and everything. He's beating up security and threw Nana around that he had to be carried up out of there then. And fans just chant AEW, this is awesome. Swerve and Danielson just going back and forth, just trading strikes and all that stuff. Which, I know he went for like another big pressure, but Danielson still kicked out. And then Danielson, he hit like the running knee, like from the back and the front of him. So like hit him in his back and front, and put him in the label lock then after that. But like once he put him in the like he had him in the label lock, and Swerve's trying to break out and everything, but he just can't do it. And Danielson like snaps his fingers, like puts him in like almost like a different variation of the label lock, and Swerve ended up tapping out from there. And now we have a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So yes, Bryan Danielson still keeps his career going, as the Blackpool Combat Club comes out and celebrate. But I guess Pac is an honorary member now out there too, and his entire family gets in the ring and celebrate as all the confetti, hits the ring and just the pyro goes off and everybody celebrates and all that. So hell of a main event. Excellent main event.
I definitely agree. My goodness, for the word go, it felt big. The final countdown, Bun B, West Side Gun. It just felt big for the word go. And I was afraid that it wasn't going to build, you know, built up to be a great match. I thought it was going to fall behind, MJF and Ospreay, but they really succeeded that. It's just crazy that the final match, Swerve title reign is his best match of the title reign. And the best view, to be honest, of the title reign. And so, but I would really like some of these moves, creative moves that they did. The back backdrop hit, the backdrop of the ring build where they dropped the head on the ring build. They were just doing a lot of, I guess, a lot of creative things out there. Um, but like I said, it really, really was a good match.
Nah, hell of a great match though. Definitely hell of an ending, hell of a match. I will ask this question. What do you think about Swerve's just entire title run in general? I know it's been pretty wonky up and down just from the booking of, where he's been kind of positioned on the card and stuff. I'm not really surprised he lost here, especially once the title career versus career thing came into play. It would have looked crazy if he actually won. Like that would have really solidified him for real. Like, hey, he beat Danielson and ended his career. But like, what do you just think about his whole run as the champion?
Kind of lackluster, to be perfectly honest with you. And I, I really wasn't feeling it. I ain't gonna lie to you, Bray. It's one of those title runs that it felt like they was they just gave him the title and did put too much focus on him. People out there will be like, "Hey, he was on a promotional, had made events and all that stuff." I understand that, but that don't really tell me that they were super focused on them. And a lot of those things tells me that it was like they had to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Like it felt like, oh, he our world champion, the face of the company, so I have to put his face on promotionals. I have to put him in main events because this is my world champion. But a lot of those views don't scream investment. It's just no. And so I don't think they was were and then Hell Turner face did really help with because he got over as this the despicable heel. So to take that away from him, he just broke in people's crib, beat up a 18-year-old in his crib, then over here talking about he was gonna kidnap a kid and so like, hey, then it's trying to turn baby face right out, not gonna help. So I don't think they did any favors for Swerve. I really don't. And the title reign helped him more than it helped.
Yeah, 'cause I already seen people say Kofi had a better title reign than him right now. I've been up and down on it because I wasn't really even digging it from the get go because it's like, hey, he won the world champion. This is a big thing to be celebrate about. This is like he's the new world champion. But then when you got him going 15 minutes with Kyle Fletcher out there and not doing like a big promo celebration and all that, but some random match where this dude's taking Swerve to the limit, it's like, what are we doing here? And it was just how he was positioned on the card sometime because I didn't feel like he was always the main event and stuff. Like you still got to make it a big deal because he is the world champion, but it
Right.
was just times where it's like I feel like he should be centered either near the end of the show, like the main, like he should be the biggest thing of the show. He's the world champion. Like either he's at the beginning of the show to kick everything off sometime, or at the end of the show, especially leading to a world title match that's gonna be at the next pay per view, and who his opponent is gonna be too. So I do feel like it just kind of random sometimes. Even there was one point when he went against like what Kill Switch randomly on TV at one point, and it's like didn't he like kick out of his finisher? And had to do another one. It's like, why is he kicking out a new world champion's finisher? So there was just multiple times where it was just weird how his booking was, especially his position. I don't know, they were trying to focus more on that whole elite takeover storyline that really didn't go anywhere, if you ask me nowadays, and all that. But Swerve's booking has just felt weird to me. Like it really has, up and down. And it was just points where it's like, what are they really doing with this guy? And he's the world champion, but it didn't feel like he was being treated like a world champion sometime. Later on, yeah, but it's like, why did you do that from the get go?
And it's so crazy that I do, I do believe you, Bryce, that they would put more focus into that elite storyline. But you know what else? What's the irony of that? Even though they were putting more focus into the elite storyline, it was a storyline that eclipsed it, and they didn't really put it too much. They didn't put as much thought into it as they did with the Bucks. And you want to know what storyline that is? MJF versus Will Ospreay. That organically took over. You know what I'm saying? Like that organically took over everybody' attention. So, like, put a lot more attention in the Bucks and call it, putting more attention into that than the World Championship. It was something that organically got over that they didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, no, that's a good point though. No, I get where you're going with that. So yeah, it just I do feel like they're trying to be invested into something else than actual being the actual world champion himself. So it just I don't know, man. It's like his booking was just weird to me ever since the get go of it, and that's why when I kind of sit here and kind of reflect on his entire title reign, it's kind of like, did they really do good by him all the way? Like I'm not surprised he lost to Danielson here. Like I get that, but just I don't know, given his position, I didn't think his opponents were that bad, but it's like Christian, you already knew he was going to be not even the main event for Double or Nothing. Yes, he did beat Samoa Joe to win the championship. I think he beat Claudio on a collision, I believe, and he did go against Will Ospreay, so that was ended up being great too. Because hell, remember people thought Ospreay was going to win the damn world title right there. They thought he was going to win it, but it did not happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad because the whole all in card would have been switched over, and we would have never got the feud that we like the most, and that would be MJF versus Will Ospreay. That was a good feud right there. So, uh, and so it was kind of good that they didn't do that. That they didn't put the title on him, but they better put the title on him soon though, before he lose all his luster.
Yeah, so Osprey's super over, but a lot of people really did think it was going to happen here in Wembley, though, because England and all that. So a lot of people thought that was going to happen. But overall, this show, I thought it was good. I obviously thought the main event obviously was the match of the night. I did enjoy the women's title. That was another great one. The latter, yeah, it was a crash test thing, but it was still good in its own right. I did like the casino battle royale, just given like the surprises and debuts and returns. Just kind of let alone off of that. The things I did not like about this show, really was just like the TBS title, the FTW title. I didn't even think the tag title triple threat thing wasn't really that good. The coffin drop thing was literally just kind of Sting coming out there. So and I was just surprised how short it was. I really was. Um, yeah, that was like probably most of the main things I did not like about this show.
um, I'll agree. Like the matches that I did like kind of overlap the matches that I did like. So it kind of made me go into a to the card grade because I like the high matches that I like was Tony Storm versus Mariah May. Then you had I would say MJF is Will Ospreay, and then
I almost forgot to say that one. Yeah.
and those three matches was good enough to overclaps the bad matches that I did like. The bad matches that I didn't like was the FTW Championship match, the Triple Threat tag team match. You know, I those are matches. The TBS title match I really didn't like, and so it's like it was the middle of the card for me. It was a C.
Yeah, so like it was just a good show to me. Yeah, I will say this too. And I don't know how true this is and that. And I heard a few things here and there when it comes to tickets and I don't know tarp pops. Like, did they sell out Wembley?
I don't know. It looked like a huge crowd out there to me, but I don't think it was sold out.
I'm I already seen people say this was better than SummerSlam. Like
No,
I know that. Well, shit, they probably did maybe sell more than SummerSlam. They went to Cleveland. That's why SummerSlam didn't sell out because they went to Cleveland.
right.
So I don't know if Wembley did sell out. It looked like a lot of people out there, but I heard about some of the tarp offs and whatnot. So I don't know how many people were really out there. Like it looked big, I'll say that. But like I said, I don't know if it was sold out or not. That
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know about if they sold out or anything.
Yeah, so that I'm not particularly sure. I will also add, like I said, when you look at this whole show, it was literally like 4 hours, 5.5 to 6 if you count the pre-show. So overall, it was like a total of what, 13, 14 matches. But if you're looking at the main card itself, as in the main show, it was really like 9 matches. But anything else before that is like, if you want to count pre-show, you're looking like 13, 14 matches, which is just way too many.
Yeah, it really is.
But we know
Yeah,
how AEW goes this long in general. So yeah, I thought it was a good show. It was really good.
yeah, yeah. No, I did too.
Like I overall enjoyed it in general though. I thought it was a really enjoyable show. Like I said, the main event was just great. It was just that great. Okay, it was excellent. So like I said, that really tore the house down, especially in the end of it, and Danielson getting a big win in AEW, becoming a world champion once again. So, like I said, overall, I enjoyed the show. I did. It's like it had its ups and downs. I'll go with that. It was a good show.
Yeah, I do. I definitely agree.
So that's how I look at the whole thing, though. But yeah, the Wembley, the All In. Um, other than that, final thoughts before we get out of here,
Final thought is
or anything to
even,
plug.
even though it was a good show, I still came out thinking how they gonna tie it in with all out. But that's my final thought.
Yeah, we got like a couple weeks before All Out, so yeah, let's see how they figure that whole thing out, or somehow figure it out. I have no idea, but now you got to build All Out for like in the next couple weeks now. Which last year you only had 1 week to do it, but we'll see. That's all I can say. But hey, we already got other pay per views next week, anyways. That aren't AEW, so yeah, we'll see what goes on from there. But other than that, follow me on Twitter, comment, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and yeah, we're definitely out of here. So I hope everybody enjoyed this review of All In. So yeah, if you're all in, I guess we'll be all out in the next couple weeks, or maybe we're gonna take a trip to Berlin and show some people some no mercy.
Yeah, we
I, I,
definitely are.
yeah, I played that on the N64. So yeah. Other than that, though, we out of here. We'll see you then. Peace out.